Today I have a lady who's come for a general workshop. So we've done a couple of things. I've created a olive bonsai, maple, hawthorn, and she is very, very adventurous. So she wants to do a tanuki with me. So she brought her own driftwood. These are pieces of wood that she brought, and she brought a couple of junipers as well. And this is one of these, I don't know what it is, maybe a type of squamata. There's so many junipers. So let's see what we can do, because you can virtually make a bonsai out of anything. So I'm going to ask her what she has in mind, because she brought 3 pieces of driftwood, and these are the possible plants. Junipers or evergreens are very good for making tanuki. So there you are. I will now switch the camera and I will ask Srila to tell me what she thinks. So these are the pieces of wood and those are the trees. So we're going to start with the little one. So if you can just explain what you have in mind, Srila, then we will guide you through.
Right. I picked this one up because I liked the character of this branch, but I think it's far too big for this.
Yes.
So that has been discarded. These two are from the same root system.
Do you know what wood it is?
No, unfortunately I can't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, I found it in my garden.
Okay.
And probably it's a root from some plant.
Yes, they look interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so my choice is between these two. And
what would you choose?
Looking at this plant, as we discussed earlier, this is not a very interesting part, so this could be hidden.
All right. So what we need to show is interesting parts of driftwood. Okay.
Yeah. And this is also quite interesting, but maybe too large for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
It
right.
will not look natural.
Right. So your choice is good.
Yeah. It won't look
natural. So
natural.
your thinking is correct.
So this is more in proportion to this plant.
Absolutely right.
And,
okay. So which are the interesting parts? The top part or the bottom part?
I like this part.
Okay, so we work on that.
There's texture here and also texture here. Yeah. So I have to decide.
So that's typical sort of driftwood, dead wood that we can find. So that's a good start. So if I can now ask you to show the hold the camera, I will now show you what I will do. So with this is typical juniper you can get from any plant store or garden center. What you want are these long wispy bits, because this is what you're going to tie around the wood. And as Srila has just said, this is not interesting, so we're going to hide that. But this is interesting. So let me take it out of the pot. And so if we are to use this bit of the wood, let's see how we can tie the tree round and wrap the branches round the trunk, because the tanuki we will get the, can you see how I wrapped that? See, I'm wrapping this, so that is a nice effect. Let's see what other possibilities are there. I could have wrapped this as well. So anything that you can wrap around is fine. I may do this. Okay. So what do we use for wrapping around? Well, what we use are these cable ties. So just have a look at that. So these are called cable ties because they're used for wrapping cable. So these cable ties, that little one is okay. And that's what you do. You thread it through and then it ties it up. If you don't have cable ties, that's not the end of the world. You can use just ordinary bonsai wire. I have here oodles of bonsai wire. I can just tie it with wire, so you don't have to use cable ties. So the main thing is trying to get the branches to fit around the trunk so that it looks interesting. So as I explained to you, if you come close, you see I can twist this branch around the trunk like this, and as it grows it will become thicker and it will become part of that dead wood, unless of course the dead wood rots before the tree gets bigger. And then this one I can try and wrap around here. So I've got several options. So from that single plant, because there are like 3 branches, I can wrap it around several times around this trunk. So let me do that. So if I use a cable tie, I wish I had 4 hands, but I will try and manage just with my one hand. Oops. No, it's okay. So I've tied that with the cable tie. So that's done. And then, because there's so many branches, now what about this one here? There's another big branch here. Now because this piece of driftwood has got like twin trunks, let me try to wrap it around this and see what happens. So remember, what I'm showing you really are the principles of doing this Tanuki. So if I can remind people, those of you who are new to this channel, Tanuki is the Japanese word for this fox-like animal that roams the streets of big cities, like the urban foxes in the West. They roam the cities looking for garbage, and the Japanese love this animal because it is considered an animal that is full of tricks. Because it's full of tricks, they love it. And not only that, they love the animal because, like human beings, they can try all sorts of trickery, and this trickery is in a good way, because we are trying to fool people into thinking that this is a very old plant that has a lot of driftwood, when the driftwood really is not part of the tree. So we are cheating in a way. So Tanuki, for want of a better word, is just cheating. So you can see how easy it is to use the cable ties, but if I want to use wire, I can also do that. So you don't have to have the cable ties. So you see I'm using a piece of bonsai wire, and I am now twisting that wire on and holding it in place. So I've got to remember where the root ball is. The root ball is somewhere there. I've got to plant it back in a pot. Okay, the rest, I think, I'm going to cut the excess off. I don't want it confusing you. So here it is. It's almost like a bit of flower arranging, isn't it? So if I wire some of these branches, I will get a very interesting bonsai, in fact. Let me do that. So I'm just using scraps of old wire. With all these things, as long as you understand the general principle, the rest is up to your imagination. So understanding the principles is the basis of all this type of work. So you're trying to fool people thinking that this is an old tree growing with a lot of driftwood, whereas the driftwood is part of another tree. With a little more wiring. Now you notice I've taken the wire around the dead wood just to stabilize it. Stabilize the wire. That means I'm treating the dead wood as part of the actual trunk of the tree, or the trunk of the Tanuki, the dead tree. You must be wondering what I'm wiring. I'm wiring these branches because I'm going to arrange the branches in the way I want, because I want to create a bonsai at the end of the day. I better find a pot to put it in. Keep looking at the detail with the camera and I'll pop it up. I'm going to put it in a pot and then we will think of arranging the final branches. So I've now put this tree in this pot. I will turn it around and show you. I want to make sure that the driftwood is visible and that the branches will also be arranged so that it looks like a bonsai. So let us see, this side looks nice, this side looks nice, but I don't want to hide the wood. Very often when you make these compositions, you get carried away, and if you hide the beautiful driftwood, then the whole purpose of the exercise is lost. There is wood in here, so let us see how I can expose the wood. I think a lot of this foliage is hiding the wood. Can you see? Now you can see the wood. See? The wood is more visible. So the wood is visible there. Wood is visible here. And that becomes more I think, attractive like that. I've had to put it at that angle because the root ball is a bit proud, but it is half touching the soil, so it's in the pot. So I will leave it like that. But I still think it's nice from this side. So if I now give the apex more shape, and then create some sort of triangular shape, the tree should look more like a bonsai. So here I'm going. So you can imagine it's in the true spirit of Tanuki where we are trying to fool people, you know. See, now I've made a tree that looks like a bonsai, you must admit. You see my triangular shape, and there's bits of driftwood visible. I want to show more wood. If I want to show more wood, then I will take away some of the foliage and branches. Now this branch is hiding, so let's take it that side. So that wood is more visible there. This is visible there. I think, do you think that looks okay?
That looks lovely.
So
It's very artistic.
so it's just a little bit of driftwood. We've created a very simple Tanuki. So there's no reason why you shouldn't try this. So there you go. So just incorporating the driftwood with a bit of plant, we've got a very nice Tanuki. So there you are. Tanuki in a few simple seconds or minutes, and you've got a creditable plant. So you can try some more. I've got some more here. So that's another one we can try, and you can try some more here. So just let your imagination run wild, and you will be able to get lovely compositions like this. Yeah, it looks nice from most sides. Keep turning.
Keep turning.
Even from this side. Keep turning it. So we'll maintain the triangular shape. Hopefully the branches will get thicker and we will get a nice bonsai. There you go.